Every day when you wake up, you have two choices. If you seem to be making choices you regret,
or if you're just in a rut,
this video is for you. Here's your 7-day guide on how to unf your life up. Let's begin. So I call day 1 the research phase because today we're going to be accumulating as much information as we possibly can. In order to be the best version of ourselves, we need to know what that version looks like. So I want you to scour the internet, look for images that speak to you, quotes that you resonate with, vision board pictures that you aspire for. I recommend Pinterest for this. Next, you're gonna come up with a list of people that you wanna be like. This could be celebrities, this could be an athlete, this could be people that you know personally, and ask yourself, how would they act in the life that you're in? Write this down. So there's a Stoic philosophy that I read in this book that basically talks about how it's beneficial for you to enact how the people that you look up to would react into the situations that you're in your daily life, and then emulate that. And finally, for day 1, you're going to be taking a deep dive into self-help content. So why we're doing this is because I want you to wire your brain into start thinking like these self-help experts, but do not fall into the trap of consuming self-help content and not doing anything. Do not worry, because this guide will help you avoid falling into that trap. We have to be insanely honest with ourselves today. Today is the day that we reflect on our strengths, our weaknesses, our virtues, our vices, and what's going good and what's up. So I want you to get out a piece of paper. I want you to write stuff down, not on your phone, but on an actual piece of paper in a journal. First page. Everything that's good about your life. Whatever comes to mind, write it down, because this is going to make you actually grateful for the things that are going your way and what you're happy about. Second page. What are 5 things that you need to change about your life right now? And I want you to write down what kind of life that you see yourself having once you accomplish changing these 5 things. You can't have a reason without a reason, if you know what I mean. Okay, now go back to day 1. Remember those quotes, those pictures, those vision boards that I told you to save? Go look at them, soak them in, and then write down where you are in relation to those right now. We never said this process is going to be easy, but at the end of these 7 days, you're going to be thankful that you put in the work. So like I said, today is all about self-reflection and getting a good sense of where you are, because once you have that starting point, now you can figure out the trajectory that you want to go. So after 2 days, now you have a good sense of where you are. Now it's time to move on to day 3. The 3 things that your life can boil down to: your mind, aka your soul, your body, aka your vessel, and your wallet, aka how much bread you got in your bank account. And in order to unf your life up, we got to work on all 3 of those things. And today we're going to be doing just that. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be identifying one thing, just one very simple thing that's going to push us forward in getting better in our mind, our body, and our soul. It's time to actually start putting some work in. So these can be as simple or as complex as you want. But I'm guessing that if your life isn't where you want it to be right now, it might be better to start off with some simple things. That's a little too much. For example, for your mind, you can spend 10 minutes a day journaling on what you're grateful for, or reflecting on how your day has been and how you can make it better. Or maybe you can meditate. Basically do something that brings you peace and happiness. A healthy body is just as important as a healthy mind. Get up, move around, go for a walk, lift heavy things, go for a run, play a sport. Just do something that's healthy for you. You know what the healthy things are, so let's not act dumb. Just do the one thing that's good for your body. And lastly, for your wallet. Now this might be the hardest thing to do on a daily basis, but it can be done. Simple things. Remember, maybe you do research in the market that you want to start a business in. Maybe you put in an extra hour at work. Maybe you work on your resume. Maybe you learn about investing. Just something that's going to help you benefit in the long run. All right, now we just gotta wait till this is out and then we record the next clip. Oh, perfect. Remember one thing loud and clear, ladies and gentlemen. This guide is more about the actual process than the results, because results won't happen overnight, but becoming obsessed with the process is going to be the actual reason why you successfully unfucked your life up. Hot, bro. So how was yesterday? Did doing those 3 things make you feel any better? Remember one thing, that progress is not linear. So it's okay to take a couple steps back some days. It's okay for things to not go exactly the way that you want them to pan out. But this is when we evaluate what went wrong and what went right. And then we adjust based on that. So I'm gonna take a guess that if you're watching this video, odds are you're probably watching a bunch more self-help videos on the internet. So today, it's time to experiment a little bit. Today is the day that we're gonna be honest with our progress. Make a list of what's going well and what needs improvement. So I want you to reflect on how far or how unfar you've come in the past few days. But remember, this is not a time for you to get down on yourself. We want to make sure that we're being kind to ourselves because remember, this is a process, this is a journey, and it's not going to happen all at once. This is not the time to give up or feel defeated. All today is it's just simply a check-in. Alright, if you're anything like me, you do not like the feeling of letting others or yourself down. And this makes me feel an intense feeling of pushing past the limits if there's things actually on the line. So today, we're going to be putting things on the line. So find a friend, could be a peer, could be a family member, could be a relative, somebody that you trust and whose opinion that you value. This is going to be your accountability buddy. And you're going to tell them your goals and you're going to explain to them the journey that you're on. And by now, you're 5 days into this. So this whole conversation is not just going to be all talk because you've actually put in a good amount of work already. So now, if you fail or if you just stop the journey that you're on, you're going to look like a loser. You're going to be a failure in the eyes of your accountability buddy. We're going to be using a little bit of the darker emotions to drive this thing now. There is now a compelling force that's driving you to succeed, that's driving you to reach your goals, that is driving you not to look like a failure in the eyes of your accountability buddy. This is going to be one of the motivations for you to achieve your goals. They say that it takes about 21 days to form a habit. Well, day 6 is about establishing what those habits are going to be. By now, you've been on this journey for about 6 days. You should have a pretty good understanding of what you like to do, what's been working for you, and what's not been working for you. Now it's time to reverse engineer. What does the life you want look like? You can refer back to those vision board pictures again. And now ask yourself what habits are required to achieve that lifestyle. Me personally, I like the word routines. Routines are consistent, routines are systematic, routines do not depend on motivation, and routines are a precursor to results. So this day is about establishing those routines that are going to eventually bring us closer to living our dream life. I'll give you an example using myself. Now, I want to achieve a certain fitness goal. Therefore, my routines need to include eating a certain way, sleeping a certain way, working out a certain way. Another one, I want to be able to make a consistent and livable income with content creation. Therefore, my routines must consist of creating a certain type of content, editing a certain type of way, and learning. What you must do is you need to come up with certain routines that are repeatable and that are engineered to bring you closer to your goals. Okay, so what are triggers? Essentially, triggers are things that bring us back to our old self. And we want to obviously avoid these things because they can cause relapses. In the past 7 days, you've made a lot of progress. You should be very proud of yourself. So what we want to do today is basically identify and eliminate the things that are in our control that would make us take steps back. Now you might be thinking, Aryan, did you not say that progress is not linear and that it's okay to be taking a couple steps back? Yes, I did. Good job for listening. But that does not mean that we cannot make a very conscious and concerted efforts to set up systems and processes that allow us to not take those steps back. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to write things down that are causing you to revert back to your old habits. For example, maybe you're hanging out with a certain friend group that brings out the worst side in you. Maybe having a TV in your room makes you get distracted very easily. Maybe having a bunch of unhealthy snacks makes you less consistent on your diet. These are all triggers that you can easily remove from your life. Now, what this will do after you remove these is that they will set you up to have a better chance of not taking those steps backwards along the journey. Like I said, it's progress over perfection here, but let's try to make the process of progress as frictionless as possible. So after you put in 7 days of work, the 7th day, the final day, is avoiding and eliminating the triggers that are causing you to revert back to who you were before you watched this video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and that is your 7-day guide on how to get your life back on track. Now, if you followed every single day for the past 7 days, you should be well on your way to making improvements of your life and just living your best life. I've said this all video. Remember, progress is not linear. It's okay to take steps back, but at least you're on the right path. At least you're taking steps in the right direction and you are on the right trajectory. I am proud of you for following through. Tell me something about your journey in the comments below. As always, my name is Aryan. Thank you for watching and sticking around to the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.